Hey guys, this is Captain Frugal reporting for duty. 2020 was a rough year. Towards the end of the year, a lot of people were run down. I thought, you know what, we need something good. We need something uplifting. So I thought I wanted for the beginning of 2021 to get a group of wonderful YouTubers to get together and just tell us some of their gaming moments. Some gaming history, if you will, our memories that we grab onto, not necessarily from 2020, but from any year, just to start 2021 on a bright note. So I hope you enjoy, and I got a lot of great YouTubers here. They got a lot of great moments to share, so sit back and enjoy.
How are you feeling? You got John Riggs here and talking about some of my gaming memories. One memory that stands out to me is going into the 8th grade in the early 90s. Our teachers went on strike. And so how did I celebrate? Well, I rented a video game, of course. Now, back in those days, back in my day, in the early 90s, $5 would be a video game rental, a 44-ounce Mountain Dew, and a loaf of French bread, all from the same grocery store, because we had a grocery store in town a couple blocks away from where I lived that also rented video games. I had a few other rental places around there, but for some reason I went there because they had Mad Max. I wanted to check it out, so I rented that 44-ounce Mountain Dew, loaf of French bread, in lieu of the first day of school. And this is like, I'm going to celebrate, man. If school's not going to be in session, I can't help that. That's not my fault. What am I going to do about it? So school did resume like the third day or something like that. But, for the first day, hanging out at home when I should have been in school, I wasn't. Playing what I considered not the best NES game by a long shot. But that game still holds a dear place in my heart because that was the game I played. Mad Max for the NES. That was the game that I rented and I played during what would have been or what was supposed to be the first day of school, but it wasn't. I was playing Mad Max, drinking 44 ounces of Mountain Dew and eating a loaf of French bread. I didn't even put anything on it. I just tear off bits of French bread. It was like it cost like $1 at the time. and I have the body type I have today because of all the Mountain Dew and French bread I ate back in those days, probably. But a lot of great gaming memories. That's the one that stands out to me. Thanks for having me.
What's going on, all my Trollomaniacs? And a feel-good story for me, well, it actually revolves around Christmas, so this is the perfect time. As you can see, I have huge nostalgia for the Nintendo 64. I've spent way too much money on it. It's not even the best system. It's not even close. But to me, it's the most nostalgic system right in this heart. Why? Because the launch of the N64 was bigger and crazier and harder to get than the PS5 and the Series X. I'm serious. As a kid in 96, I was 10, 11 years old. I knew I wasn't going to get one. I knew it. It wasn't even like a Christmas wish list. It was just one of those, I'm not getting it, and I'm okay with it. I hadn't even seen one in person. It was so hard to get. But my best friends, Felicia and Buddy, lived across the street, and their parents were divorced. So when I went over there about a week before Christmas, or the week of Christmas, I went to go see what Felicia and Buddy were doing, and their stepdad and mom answered the door. You would think we were getting ready to do like some sort of illegal deal, because they opened the door, and they peeked out, and they're like, Chris, come on in. And I went inside, and what was sitting in the living room turned on a Nintendo 64. My mind was blown. It's the kind of feeling you get as a kid that you really can't even explain to someone else. You just got to experience it, and it's only happened a couple times. I've never been so excited about something that wasn't even mine. Just the idea of seeing this system, that I'd seen commercials all over Nickelodeon, all over Saturday morning cartoons. I'd heard about it. Everybody in the playground was talking about the N64, 64-bit 3D graphics. It was a mythical creature that I never thought I was going to see. At least not for a while. And here it was Christmas morning at my friend's house. So as a kid, we had 2 grown adults, no kids to be seen besides myself, and we hung out for the next 3 hours playing Mario 64. It's one of my favorite memories because to think about sending your kid over to the neighbor's house and the neighbor kids aren't there and they come back 3 hours later and say, yeah, the kids weren't there but I hung out with the parents, sounds pretty funny, but that's exactly what we did on Christmas in 96. I hung out with my neighbors, we played their Nintendo 64, and when their kids got there, they weren't even that excited because they had seen one over at their dad's house. So I was excited, and to me, it's one of my favorite memories. It was so fun. I'll never forget gaming with Tina and Ben, who were the stepdad and the mom of Felicia and Buddy as a kid, and just seeing Mario 64 for the first time. And to this day, it's my favorite Mario game, and this is my favorite system to collect for. I love the Nintendo 64, even though I admit it's a little trashy, it's a little ugly, doesn't necessarily hold up, but I have so much nostalgia, and it really started with the launch back in 1996. So for all you little nerds out there who aren't even old enough to remember it, you think the PS5 launch was tough, the Xbox Series X, the Nintendo 64 was godlike. And there was no online ordering. You had to get there early and often to find it, and I sure as heck wasn't getting one. The next year I did, but 96 I didn't get one, but I got my gaming in through the neighbors, and that's a fantastic memory for me. I'll never forget it. Keep trolling, keep rolling. See you next time.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tom, although my friends call me
Sega Head.
Sega Head.
Sega Head?
Sega Head.
Sega Head.
Sega Head. Tosser.
and I want to talk about a game that had a big impact on me. But the thing is, it's not really a game so much as it is a game character. You see, when I was in school, just a little boy, I didn't have any friends. I got picked on a lot. But when I got home each day, I was able to unwind and forget about the crappy time at school I had just experienced by playing my favourite games. And I would always gravitate back to the same ones. And those ones had the same lovable character. You may have guessed it, seeing as I'm called Sega Head. That's right, Sonic the Hedgehog. Now I know instantly you're probably thinking about the one on the Mega Drive, and that is a really, really good game. In fact, it's so good, I did a Let's Play of it a little while ago. Although, I didn't have my best playthrough. In fact, it was not great.
Oh, fuck you and everything you're worth, you prick. Arse! Fucking hate the Labyrinth Zone.
But anyway, that's not the Sonic game I want to talk about. The Sonic game I do want to talk about is the one on the Master System. This game kept me going for ages. It would cheer me up, it would make me forget about the bad stuff that had happened in the day. And it wasn't just because the game was fun. No, it was because of Sonic. He was like the cool kid. But he was the cool kid that wanted to be your friend. He was everyone's friend. That was what was great about him. You know, Mario? Alright, okay, he's friendly. Yahoo! Fuck off. Sonic was cool. Someone cool who wanted to be my friend felt impossible because I was such a loser. I say was. Still am, in many ways. Which is why I'm still talking about Sonic the Hedgehog at the age of 33. But I just wanted to say, thanks to the Master System game, I was able to get through some pretty shitty times when I was little. Sonic the Hedgehog, the cool kid, the awesome mascot, felt like the only friend I actually had when I was like 7 years old. That's true. And now I am really lucky. I actually have friends. I've got quite a few of them.
Yeah, the guy's a troll.
He's a knob lolly.
What a dick.
Absolute bum nugget.
Navre Malaka. Oh, the Sega sucking master sissy mega dork.
Okay, those friends are they're just messing around. They don't really think that. Do they?
Hey everybody, I'm JLove81, and I want to thank Captain Frugal for allowing me to be a part of his video. This was a really tough question. I couldn't even think of a specific answer because there's a lot of important gaming moments for me. Talking about beating games with loved ones, you know, getting to play them at conventions, stuff like that. Just so many cool experiences. One of those that stand out is playing with Shady J of the Game Chasers. We played Popeye, trying to see who can beat the highest score. Of course, it was Shady J, but that's okay. Another moment, playing Super C with Captain Algebra, Contra with Megadan 29. Just so many awesome gaming moments. You know, me and my nephew sitting down playing Cars 2 when he was little. Just, I can't even tell you. My mom and I used to play Dr. Mario together. My dad and I played the original baseball on Nintendo. I mean, I could go on, but the most that stands out to me, favorite gaming moment. When I beat my first game with no shortcuts. When I was a kid, I had Super Mario Brothers, and I used warp zones back in the day. I can definitely beat it now without using any warp pipes, but back when I was a kid, I used to use warp zones to get to the end and beat the game that way. Same with Mario 2. I warped to get to the end of the game and beat it that way. But this game, you cannot take shortcuts. And I beat it as a kid. This game came out in 1987, and that is the original Legend of Zelda. The original. I tell you what, I just beat Zelda 2 a couple years back, thanks to T-Belly and Die Hard Gamer Bros, Megadan29 pushing me to complete the game. We finally got it done. That was a gaming moment for me. Something that I haven't beaten since I was little. And I finally got to beat the game now. I cried tears of joy with that one. But this game I beat as a kid. I played it so much. This is my favorite Legend of Zelda game of all times. The fact that I must have been about 8 or 9 years old when I finally completed the game. To me, that's an accomplishment. This is a, pretty long game. And the fact that you have to upgrade your sword, get the rings to help you out, constantly get the shield back, all kinds of stuff. I finally figured it out. And back then, there was no internet to tell you how. You just had to figure it out. I had Nintendo Power magazines. That was the most help I got. And this was the first game that I beat as a kid without shortcuts. When I beat Ganon, I lost my mind. I was yelling. I thought it was the most incredible thing in the world. And I'll never forget it. Never. It was just one of the best moments ever. One of many that I, of course, created later on. But I am telling you, just for a little kid to beat this game, I love exploring. I love the soundtrack. Everything about this game I love, even today. So that is definitely by far one of my favorite gaming moments. Thank you so much for allowing me to be in this video. And guys, don't forget, promote positivity. I'll see you guys later.
Hey everybody, Michael B. the Game Genie here, and I'm here because my good friend Captain Frugal asked me to take part in this video where I share a gaming moment from my gaming lifetime that was special or fun or meant something to me. And whenever I'm asked this question, I apologize, but I always give the same answer because it's the only one I can give. I always get transported back to playing The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past for the first time, waking up and seeing the rain coming down outside the house in the stormy village as you made your way to the castle to find your uncle, all the way up until getting my first 3 medallions and finally capturing the Master Sword. For me, there's no more perfect experience in gaming than that opening sequence to The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, and it always makes me happy. It brings me back to being a child and makes me remember why I love video games so much. I remember getting this game Christmas morning and doing just that Christmas morning, and in fact I do this every year around Christmas time. I at least get as far as getting the Master Sword in The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. It's my favorite video game moment of all time, and I'm glad I could share it with you here today.
Thank you very much, Cap, for having us on the channel. My name is Jamie and I am one half of the Button Bashers. Some would say the better half. You make that decision. So for us, a heartwarming gaming memory. I've got so many growing up. There was a lot of gaming memories growing up with my brother and Christmases and things like that. But for me, starting this channel, so I've put together a little heartwarming montage. Roll VT. Again, Cap, thank you so much for having us on your channel. It's been a really good little video. I've enjoyed all the other content creators, heartwarming and funny moments. So enjoy the rest of the video, people.
Hey everybody, this is Dad from Dad and Kids Play, and I'm here to share a moment with how I got into fighting games and what led me into this point. So for me, this all started around 28 years ago when I was about 12 at the time, back in 1992. Back then, we used to rent our games from Blockbuster Video, which was a very popular video rental store at the time. I was looking for the SNES version of the game called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time, since that game was highly anticipated and me and my cousins used to rock the arcade version of this game all the time. So check it. Not only did we rent that game, we rented another game called Street Fighter II: The World Warrior. Now at that time, we had no idea if this game was fun or not because we didn't know anything about it, and let the truth be told, I was just going off of the cover art, which had a green man, a muscular woman, and a knocked out karate man. You see, a lot of times we rented games we didn't know anything about, since there was no internet back then and had to slowly rely on gaming magazines for reviews and information. Now, some games ended up being fun while others ended up being a dud, but in Street Fighter II case, it ended up being a gem for me. Now, I remember beating this game for the first time, and naturally, I selected Ryu since he looked like an anime protagonist. I went through the game without doing a single special move, and also remember seeing the computer throwing a Hadouken for the first time, which blew my mind at the time. I studied the manual constantly trying to do these special moves, but could only do Blanka's lightning attack at the time, since that command only needed rapid button presses. I didn't learn the motion controls until some time later, after I bought the game, and the rest was history. Now, after tapping into the power of the Hado, I remember learning how to do combos and how to do 2-in-1s, which are the basics for all Street Fighter style combos. Honestly, I can say this game was the one that pulled me into fighting games and made me want more as new fighting games came out, such as Mortal Kombat and Tekken. Nowadays, there are many fighting games to choose from, but I will always remember the game that I started with.
Wow, that was a lot of really good history, a lot of fun stories and gaming moments. You know, for me, one of my favorite gaming moments was with my older brother. Him and I, we didn't get along a whole lot when we were young. We fought like kids do. And nowadays, we're closer than ever. I mean, we love doing things together. It's just amazing how things change over time. But back then, even with all the fighting, there was always something that could bring us together. And that was something like a good game of co-op Contra. Yep, we'd both sit on that couch and take on Contra. We beat Contra together, Super Contra together. That was the second Contra on Nintendo. And the Super Nintendo Contra, we beat it together. All those two-player learning to work together. Just something about playing together with others, being right there. I mean, online is great, but being off the grid and sitting on a couch with your bro or whoever it is, playing a game brings back memories. I can still be taken back to those days where we first beat the first Contra without the Konami code, I might add, and the second one, and the Super one. All that, just the excitement that, hey, we did it, but not we didn't just do it. We did it together. Well, there you guys have it. Several YouTubers with wonderful history, wonderful memories. You know, we need to get a good start this year. I know I gave that to him towards the end of the season, and I told him I plan to put something up positive for the beginning of this year. And I will tell you, there's a lot of big YouTubers here, right? All of them I think are awesome YouTubers, and they're all just as good behind the camera as they are in front of the camera. When I asked them to join in on this, they didn't ask me how many subs I had or anything. They were just right into it and ready to roll. And that is awesome. So I tell you, if you haven't checked them out, please check them out. They're all wonderful. Thank you guys for spending your time with us. If you don't mind, share one of your moments, one of the things that you can remember, your history, and about something positive in gaming down in the comments below. And if you like this, please be sure to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you don't mind. And until next time, keep it frugal.